try this. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the book of Job in the Bible. Well, there's not many of you, I'm sure, who are aware that there is a chapter in the book of Job that is a mystery. It's chapter 28. And if you look at chapter 28, you'll find it's a long, sort of a poem. And the problem with it, it's a mystery because when the translators got the original manuscripts and documents to look at, they could never figure out who was speaking when chapter 28 was included. So even to this day, I found that one of the most recent translators of Job eliminated it totally because they didn't know who to assign it to. And you say, well, what's so different? Well, it was different from everything that was going on. It stands by itself. And what it talks about is basically looking for something that is hidden. And you can't see it in the sky, you can't see it on land. He talks about miners going down into the earth. It's very, very valuable. It's even more valuable than gold and silver and jewels. And they're looking for it even in the depths of the earth. Well, I thought I'd play on that a little bit with this little experiment we'd like to try here today. And it's an experiment with something more valuable than gold and silver and what have you. These are, let's just call these gems. They're actually glass or plastic, I don't know which, but these are gems. And we have here an opaque canister. To kind of give you an idea of what's in this poem, it's something hidden. Well, I'm going to try an experiment, and I'd like you to help me if you would, please. And here's two rules to follow. Number one, when you take a bunch of these in your hand, and I ask you to put them in the canister, just drop them all at once. Don't count them, so we don't know how many are in there. Okay? And secondly, when you're counting the gems, count them 1, 2, 3 in full view so everybody around can also see how many are being counted. You can count by twos, you can count twos, but make the counting very clear. And I'm going to turn my head, and what I'd like you to do is grab a handful of those gems, and make sure just that it's less than 10. I don't want more than that. Just take less than 10, grab them in your hand, and drop them in the canister. Have you done that? Okay. Now what I'd like you to do is count how many are left, and quietly. I don't want to know here how many are counted, but quietly count out how many are left. Okay, have you done that? Okay, tell me. First of all, are there more than 10? Oh, there are more than 10? That's a little too many. That's maybe a little too much. Let's reduce that number. The way we'll reduce it, though, is whatever 2 digits you came up with. I assume you had 2 digits because you were over 10. Like, for example, if you had counted 13, just as an example, the digits would be a 1 and a 3. So add the 1 and the 3, that's 4. Or you add your digits together and take that many gems in your hand. And drop those into the canister. Now, there should still be some remaining on the table. Grab whatever is left, all of them, and place them in your hand. Okay? Now, keep them hidden, because I'm going to turn around. Okay? Now, you have in your hand gems, so I know in terms of physical things that what you have in your hand are gems. But what I don't know, that is not physical, what you don't know, and what probably nobody knows, is how many you have. A number is non-material. There is a number of gems in your hand. The question is, how many gems are in your hand? Now, what I've got to do is try to determine how many. And I'm going to need a little help. Give me 1, 2, or 3 or something like that. Just give me 1 or 2. All right. Give me a couple. Now let me see if I can tell, since they were in there, how many are left in your hand. And I would say you have 7 gems in your hand. Now, will you count them out one at a time onto the table, please? How many gems are in your hand? There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, there's 6, and there's 7, and there are no more. Precisely. 7 gems were hidden in your hand, and we figured it out. Now you may ask yourself, in Job, what was hidden that they couldn't find that was worth more than gold and silver and jewels? It was called wisdom.